The lion group caught the buffalo. Unexpectedly, the buffalo companion went to save each other. It's really fierce. To say that the buffalo is united, that's still very cool. Even the lion bear was scared to hide in the tree. Otherwise, these guys have a good temper. The lion bear can't eat and walk around. The lion bear saw that the buffaloes had nothing to do. Hurry down from the tree and prepare to escape. If you are surrounded again, I'm afraid it's not safe. So it's better to go to the upper side. But if a group of lions surround a buffalo, that's another story. This buffalo is surrounded by a group of lions. It's very difficult to raise your head. I have to say that even if the buffalo is strong, I can't handle so many lions. But at this time, the buffalo companion suddenly rushed over, want to drive away the lion. Save him. Good guy. This buffalo is really brave. A group of lions also rushed over to rescue, but its attack is not very useful. The lions still bite the buffalo. Then the buffalo companion attacked again, and the lions just randomly hit. It's no use at all. It's just a buffalo. But if it's a group of buffaloes, the lion is not so arrogant, because the buffalo group is not something they can afford. And the buffalo that was caught at this time, already exhausted, didn't hold on for a while, just fell. And his companion saw this scene. If you save him again, it's already unnecessary. Then he ran away without thinking about it. Just like this, the lions finally successfully captured the buffalo. The tiger immediately pounced on a buffalo. Then he fell directly. Indeed, the king of the forest is not called for nothing. Let's take a look at this tiger. He came out for a walk for no reason. I actually met a buffalo. I'm convinced now. It's a pity that the tiger looked at the big body of the buffalo. I'm scared in an instant. Then I'm going to leave quietly, but I still don't want to look at the buffalo again. Finally, I left helplessly. What can I do? He is not his opponent at all. It seems that I can only starve today, although the tiger dare not attack the buffalo. But if it were a wild buffalo, the tiger will rush up without hesitation. At this time, the wild buffalo also discovered the danger, but it's too late. The tiger has already been behind him. Just put it over. Good guy. Really worthy of the king of the forest. Hit hard. I don't give the wild buffalo a chance to escape at all. This wild buffalo may be a little smaller. The tiger was surprised in an instant. It's really unbearable. Then the tiger bit the wild buffalo's throat. This wild buffalo is absolutely irresistible. And the tiger didn't relax, still biting him. If this is run away by the wild buffalo, isn't it too embarrassing? Just like this, the tiger easily took down this wild buffalo. The wild buffalo doesn't know what is afraid. This wild buffalo was followed by a group of wild buffalo, although the wild buffalo knocked the wild buffalo down several times. But the wild buffalo with thick skin, you can't eat it if you want to. The wild buffalo still walked out of the atmosphere of the grassland. At this time, the wild buffalo and the bear. This bear is bullying the wild buffalo. Mom rushed back to protect the wild buffalo. The bear was forced to retreat. Mom gave a slap to the black bear, warned the black bear to stay away from his child. Otherwise, tear him. Mom returned to confirm that the wild buffalo was safe. Back to the bear's position. The bear ran away. Mom also ran after the bear. The bear made a fatal mistake, secretly playing with the wild dog. This wild buffalo is now surrounded by 3 wild dogs. The wild buffalo started to retreat as planned. Suddenly the wild buffalo stopped, facing 3 wild dogs. The wild dog dare not act rashly. The wild buffalo took the opportunity to attack, scared the wild buffalo. Then the wild buffalo ran away like this. The wild buffalo is eating. Just when it was eating, a wild dog found it. Then the wild dog took the initiative to leave. The wild dog accidentally met the wild buffalo. Want to take a walk with the wild buffalo, but the wild buffalo doesn't like it. Follow the wild buffalo again. Want to read the style of the wild buffalo. The wild buffalo was angry. Water tower and the wild buffalo. This wild buffalo is sitting on a branch. 3 water towers suddenly float out of the water. After a staring confrontation, the wild buffalo left without hesitation. Dare to attack 3 water towers before it. Otherwise, this is the end of the wild buffalo. This wild buffalo caught a water tower on the river. See by the water tower, friends. Just when the wild buffalo wanted to leave, the water tower rushed over. The wild buffalo gave up hunting and ran away. Wild buffalo and the lion. A lion is ambushed. Want to hunt a huge wild buffalo? Lions usually hunt in groups. This lion won't give up. Eventually the wild buffalo was exhausted. At this time, the old star appeared. This wild buffalo rushed over to rescue his companions. Lift the lion with his right foot, and then fly out. The wild buffalo doesn't give up. One more time. This wild buffalo is attacking. Stomp on a small lion. Use your feet to fly the little lion. The little lion got up and ran away. Other lions also left. Wild buffalo wins. Wild buffalo and lion. The lion stared at the wild buffalo, who was trapped in the water pit. The 3 lions didn't want to do it first. When the wild buffalo crawled out of the water pit, the lions began to hunt. The wild buffalo began to rush straight. The 3 lions came back empty-handed. The 2 lions, who were in the bath of the wild buffalo, were sleeping. The wild buffalo suddenly attacked. The 2 lions ran away immediately. This wild buffalo was angered by a few lions. The wild buffalo doesn't want to talk to them at all. Waiting for the wild buffalo to finish drinking water. The lions can only wait patiently for the opportunity. 5. The wild buffalo and the lion. When there is a shortage of food, the lion eats whatever he sees. But it's not easy to hunt a giant like the wild buffalo. This lion was severely trampled by the wild buffalo. The wild buffalo and the lion. The wild buffalo was caught by the lion. When the lion was waiting for the wild buffalo to die, the wild buffalo's mother rushed over and began to rescue the wild buffalo. The lion had to give up the prey. Under the attack of the wild buffalo's mother, the wild buffalo was beaten by the wild buffalo. The wild buffalo ran away. The lion could only watch. The lion and the wild buffalo. The lion surrounded the wild buffalo. He didn't do anything. The wild buffalo seemed to have given up. The wild buffalo standing in the water pit. Let the lions do nothing. Do it. The price is too high. Give up. It's a piece of meat. The wild buffalo and the lion. The wild buffalo is facing the lion. The lion doesn't want to fight, but the wild buffalo wants to fight with the lion today in order not to become food. The wild buffalo has always been in a high defensive position in the lion's encirclement, continuously shouting to increase courage. After finding a breakthrough, the wild buffalo made a fake attack, escaped from the encirclement, finally escaped home. The lion was angry with the wild buffalo. The wild buffalo began to take revenge. Bite the lion with his mouth. The lion was forced to do nothing. The lion caught a wild buffalo. Didn't eat it right away, but want to play a game with the wild buffalo. The wild buffalo ran away, returned to his nest. The lion began to dig. The wild buffalo against the dog. 2 dogs catch a wild buffalo. The dog looks very excited. The dog is very fast. After a few test attacks, bite the neck of the wild buffalo. Began to shake his head. The dog found the wild buffalo's noise. The wild buffalo refused the dog to enter the house and driven the dog away. The dog opened its mouth. These 2 dogs threw the wild buffalo from the mud to the ground, but on the grass. The wild buffalo is not easy to deal with, because the wild buffalo is a guy who doesn't give up and doesn't want to die. Which moment is the most impressive to you? Please tell us in the comments section. The elephant has been kneeling like this for 3 days and 3 nights, just to be able to let the child who fell into the well drink milk water. When the person found out, the elephant is not in any big trouble, but the elephant's mother has no movement. The rescue staff want to pass the bandage through the elephant's body, but the elephant's side is only leaning against the well. A few people put their hands together and don't move. This one of the little sisters is about to cry. After all, time is tight. 1 more minute. The elephant's mother will be in danger of life. Then someone proposed to use a hard cable as a cable. Put the bandage on the cable and pull it over. At this time, the elephant is still eating milk. It seems to be encouraging his mother to stick to it. People keep working hard. The bandage is finally passing under his mother's body. They immediately open the weight machine, put the elephant's mother on the grass on one side. But his situation is not optimistic. It seems that there is no more breathing. The little sister shouted out loud to get on the person, ready to do heart and lung resuscitation for the elephant. 2 screams climbed to the mother's body. Keep pressing. But the effect of doing this is not obvious. Maybe it's because I didn't cooperate with artificial respiration. But it's obviously not realistic to do artificial respiration. For the elephant, the little elephant is on the wall. It seems to want to see the situation of the mother. I can't see the intersection from his eyes. He tried to climb the wall by himself, but the foot slipped and fell. He kept struggling to stand up again, but the pants are too slippery. The little guy struggled for a long time and couldn't stand up, so the staff quickly dug up the pants. The little elephant can't wait to climb up the tunnel that has been dug. When he came up, Zhuanghanmai has given up the treatment. See the little elephant pitiful. Fat brother is unwilling to go up. This time he plans to step on it directly. Maybe he thought of the reason why his arm couldn't bend over his thigh. In order to make the fat brother stand still, the excavator mastered carefully into the hand of the aide. In the effort of the fat brother, suddenly the elephant mother struggled to stand up, scared the crowd to retreat. It seems to know that these people have saved themselves. The elephant mother didn't have a grudge. He stood on the ground for a while, then take the child to the forest. But it was obvious that he stopped for a moment, looked at the kind person. Maybe that I included gratitude and farewell. The elephant mother is in the mud. The little elephant lies in front of his mother. to prevent the mother from getting deeper and deeper. The love of animals is sometimes very delicate. When the rescue people arrived, I gave the elephant mother a sedative. After that, the little elephant started to pull the mud with his hands. This is convenient to pass the bandage through his mother's body. Everything is ready. They tied the bandage on the tractor. Considering that one tractor may not be enough, 2 more cars were added in front. Then 3 cars started at the same time. The little elephant started to get out of the mud a little bit. The rescue work was quite smooth. Soon the little elephant was pulled out. The little elephant regained consciousness first, with the help of 2 little brothers. He struggled to stand up. Can't wait to go to his mother. He tried to help his mother stand up. Feel the heart of the child. The mother tried her best to turn over. In the end, the mother and son are safe, under the watch of the people. They happily walk to the distance. The name of this male lion is Longito. He was born in 2004. In fact, in 2023, created the record of the longest living wild lion in Africa. However, his death sound makes people nervous. I thought that the lion Longito was a beast, but his real death sound is caused by humans. Then why do humans attack this old lion? It turns out that Longito is too old. He can't complete the hunting alone. At the same time, he can't follow the steps of other lions. Became a lonely lion. So hungry Longito. In order to continue to survive, he transferred the target to the cattle raised by the local farmers. The result is obvious. Killing cattle caused the farmers. The local grassland farmers are not afraid of wild animals when they find a weak and helpless lion in the slaughter of cattle. The farmers are enraged. They use sharp long hair. Hurt Longito. The poor old lion was killed by the farmers. His body was loaded with a bicycle. It seems to be telling other wild animals. This is the result of provoking humans. This is really a tragedy. Even if a young and strong lion entered the cattle shed, it still can't stop the long hair of the farmers. Wild animals are not, after all, the opponent of humans. The borderless protection zone. For wild animals, it didn't play a real protective role. Legend has it that it still became a victim of human-lion conflict. There is no way. The conditions of African farmers are not good. They can enter the protection zone. Longito killed the cattle for food. And the farmers are the same. Have to raise cattle. When the things they like to survive are threatened, we'll definitely think of ways to stop. We can only hope. After the conditions, the local farmers and villagers can be compensated. Make the safety measures of the border of the protection zone more effective. Human and wild animal separation. Avoid similar tragedies. For the lion, the person who killed him is terrible. But for Longito, this may be another kind of relief. If Longito is still healthy, can still catch prey to feed himself. But he can't keep up with the lion. Can't catch prey. It means his life is coming to an end. The body of the year is hard to fight. The impact of dry sweat. Unless you live on artificial heads. Longito is no longer. He is the oldest lion in Ambos. When he was young. In order to protect his territory. Fighted with teeth and claws for decades. This is Longito's most famous photo. Has spread. I think the comrades who like animals should be very familiar with this photo. Longito was 17 years old that year. Every scar on his face. It's so moving. It's like hanging a lot of statues. In most cases. The lion's ultimate life is more than 20 years old. This is still in the case of artificial breeding. Can imagine. A lion can live in the wild until he is 19 years old. It's not easy. In the spiritual world of lions. Always Longito. Although there are only 2 words. In short. But no one can use words to say completely. How far is it forever? He will not disperse with the end of life. The real forever is hidden in the heart. A group of dogs surrounding the Mijo lion. The result was caught by one. This is a little wolf. He seems to have discovered that there is danger nearby, as expected. Then just run. But it's too late. Just one Mijo lion. Just caught the wolf. Good guy. The speed of the Mijo lion is too fast. There is no hope for the wolf to run away. It was easily caught. And it was bitten in the throat. It looks like it should be broken. These small animals. In front of the Mijo lion. It's just unbearable. Also only being abused. Let's take a look at this Mijo lion. He was attacked by a group of dogs. I have to say that this group of dogs is really brave. Even the Mijo lion dares to provoke. Is this treating him as a cat? And the Mijo lion is not the master of being bullied, in the face of the barking of the dog. He has no intention at all. Because these dogs only know how to call. I dare not do it at all. It's just a virtual life. And the Mijo lion is waiting for the opportunity, since so much meat is sent to the door. Why do you have to catch one? It said that the Mijo lion bit a dog. It was taken away in an instant. Now the other dogs were confused. I wanted to scare the Mijo lion, but I didn't expect to be caught by a companion. It's really unbearable. What is buried under the sand? If you encounter this kind of situation by the sea, maybe you are going to be lucky. Below is a small sea turtle. They just hatched. And this is also the beginning of the disaster. This small sea turtle has about 100. In the next few minutes. May not live forever. Tuju has prepared a meal. Just woke up from the cloud. The little sea turtle started to swim towards the sea. They don't have too much time to waste. The hunt has begun. In the North Pole. The little sea turtle tried hard to get ahead. I didn't notice at all. There are other predators on the beach. Such a cruel road. I can't even see the crabs on the beach. The only way to save the little sea turtle is to drag them into their own home, then enjoy it slowly. G is still devouring, because in a year, only these few days can be presumptuous. Some little sea turtles have climbed to the wet beach, but the disaster is not over. The seabirds will all wait here. This is not a fair duel. As long as the little sea turtle is targeted, it's hard to win once. But there is always a part that will succeed. They have worked hard. They have become one of the thousands who have survived, compared to the little sea turtle that their mother did not take care of. The wild mountain goat finally stepped on the solid ground. Let's take a look at the fire and nature. We'll wait for the opportunity. Soon the mountain goat mother came to a cliff with her child. The next death project is flying away. The little mountain goat looked down. Suddenly the legs were soft. My love. The mountain goat mother is really old. Later, dwarf bird is not a bird. If you don't believe it, look at this Jiangsu. Under her constant pua. Finally successfully entered the ICU. During the mature season, dwarf birds will carefully pick the selected Jiangsu back to their granary. This granary is the Jiangsu that the ICU can't save. Then they put Jiangsu into the tree hole that was dug in advance. Tree holes can't be too small. Otherwise Jiangsu can't get in. But it can't be too big, otherwise it will fall out. How big Jiangsu corresponds to how big hole. This is all planned. If you feel they are not suitable, dwarf birds will pick another suitable tree hole for Jiangsu. This process is quite cumbersome. More than a month. Dwarf birds are busy. There are probably tens of thousands of tree holes in the entire Jiangsu. If it's all stuffed, it's not something she can do. Need to activate all family members. You may not know. Dwarf birds are actually group animals. There are probably 5 or 6 members in each dwarf bird family. These Jiangsu can support the whole family in the cold winter in Canada. Just when they are busy. A little guy with no eyes. Stare at their Jiangsu. But can't steal as soon as you come up. So she climbs up the tree hole. At the same time, observe in secret. Wait for all the dwarf birds to leave. This will start to take dwarf birds' labor. The tough outsider smelled that tempting fragrance. But she seems to have been discovered. A dwarf bird will take all this into account. Just when Jiangsu is going to sell again, the dwarf bird can't stand it. One of the dwarf birds pretends to be pitiful. It looks like it's saying, "Look at my pitiful look. Let me go." Dwarf bird's answer is, "You can ride a horse, but you can't relax."